It's interesting because the reason why Pierre Dorion said, and I'm going to say the date was February 25th, 2019. I might be off by a day or two, but February of 2019 said it's the proudest day I've ever had as general manager. And he sends Mark Stone to Vegas in exchange for a second round pick and a young prospect named Eric Brandstrom. And Brandstrom at the time, you got to remember, was Vegas's most coveted prospect. Like there's people who will tell you when the Habs traded, and the Habs ended up getting Nick Suzuki for Max Pacioretty, right? The Habs wanted Eric Brandstrom, I think, is what people said, and the Vegas Golden Knights were like, "We're not giving you like." So you got to go back and realize Brandstrom was really highly rated at the time. You go back and look at a lot of scouting reports. They thought Eric Brandstrom is a dynamic uh, a defenseman who's going to be a quarterback of a power play and a legitimate top 4D for the next decade. And now, Chris, as we move into like we're closing into the 3-year anniversary of the trade, that'll be February, will be 3 years. And as of this recording, Eric Brandstrom has not solidified himself as an everyday NHLer. And you think about that, like that's rather remarkable. If you had gone back to somebody and said, "Hey, uh, I'm visiting you from the future, and I want you to know that in 2.5 years from now, Eric Brandstrom's not in the NHL," you'd be like, "What? What do you mean?" And yet here we are. And I think it's utterly fascinating to me. And you know what I think of? I think of the day of the trade, and I wonder, what do you think Eric Brandstrom was thinking when that deal went down? Like all of a sudden, your general manager is pumping your tires pretty big, and now you've got all the expectations on your shoulders. I wonder if the young kid wouldn't like a fresh start somewhere else. And I can't help but think of Adam Larson when he was part of that deal and he goes to Edmonton and everyone's like, "Oh, it was 1-for-1." Adam Larson never got away from the shadow of, "I was traded for Taylor Hall." Didn't matter how well he played. You were traded 1-for-1 for Taylor Hall. And I think poor Eric Branson's going to have to deal with that. He was essentially traded 1-for-1 for Mark Stone.